we're at Johnny Appleseed Park. We're in the trenches, in the community. This is where we're at. We're at Johnny Appleseed Park. We're in the trenches, in the community. This is where we're at. Good afternoon, everybody, family, friends, brothers and sisters, friends and enemies. Welcome to the first ever Dare to Tell the Truth. I'm Minister Charles Stokes, and today we're out here at Johnny Appleseed Park with Juanita, Bachelor of the Daryl Jenkins Family Resource Center, and we are at our 4th annual Save Our Streets, and we're here with the Executive Director, Miss Juanita Bachelor, to explain why we are here today, what we'll be doing, and how everything came about. So, ladies and gentlemen, friends and enemies, brothers and sisters, I will be now talking with Miss Juanita Bachelor. Thank you for coming on Dare to Tell the Truth, and let everybody know what we're out here doing today.
Oh, thank you, Charles, for having me on your show.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Today is our Save Our Streets event. We started this 4 years ago for families of unsolved homicides.
4 years ago. Now, what happened that allowed you to think about doing this Save Our Streets? Explain that to the people today.
Well, I lost my son, Daryl Jenkins Jr., from gun violence on Kensington Avenue, June 4th, 2014. And from there, I started so many support groups that I realized so many of our African American, our black sons and daughters were left in the streets for crucial time, hours, and I just thought it would be something to put together our streets for the families.
So, you said crucial hours of lay in the streets. Your son, Darren, was murdered, and could you tell everybody what took place that day? I don't mean to bring up these emotions, but people in the community need to know what happens when young black men and women are being murdered in the city streets of Springfield.
Well, my son was walking some females to the, walking them home. He left out of my home at 12:06 in the morning, and he was pronounced dead at 12:26. He did not get picked up by the coroners until about almost 6 o'clock that morning. So many other families have had that situation as well, and you know it was just terrifying and traumatizing.
Wow, that's interesting. So we're out here today, and we're going to be talking about these issues. Today you will be handing out proclamations, and what is that for?
Well, Justin Hurst will be giving out the proclamation to the organization. That is to be the under our this will be the first year under our new name as the Daryl Jenkins Jr. Resource Center. So that's what that proclamation will be up for.
Now, you say that you do this because you want to highlight and make sure that families of unsolved homicides are getting the attention that they deserve. What will you be doing today for the families to keep that their family members in memory?
Well, we have had some, well, for the first year in 2020, we did like drive-bys to each neighborhood that the loved one was murdered. We try and do different things different years. This year we're doing a ceremony where we'll be giving out remembrance certificates to the families of the loved ones that are lost, and also having the news and city officials here to see our faces, hear our loved ones' names, and keep them in memory because we will not let them be forgotten.
Wow, one of the things that is interesting about your organization, particularly, is you talk about inspiring change and seeking justice. What made you come up with that mantra for your organization?
Well, that came up when I started the more organization, Mother Overlooked, Reaching Out Empowerment, and I wanted to inspire change and fight for justice. So that's how those two things came up together as one name. But we still inspiring change and fighting for justice is always what our main goal is in this organization.
Wow, it's really a phenomenal work that you're doing. I couldn't imagine myself losing a loved one and then taking that time and mourning and grief and then come about to do this. Where do you get the strength to do this from?
I get the strength. I give it all to the glory of God. He gave me the strength to get out of it, to get into this. This is His purpose. This is what He had planned for me. So I have to follow through with that.
Now, I really just want to say I'm a volunteer at the DLJ. I've been working with you now for the last 4 years, going on 5 years. And it has been an honor and a privilege to serve under you and to work with you. What would you say to Mayor Sarno, the police commissioner, the district attorney's office? What would you say to them about what you need to inspire change, and what do you want to see as justice?
Well, for justice, I would like to see our loved ones as much put into our loved ones homicide as everybody else. I would like to say to them that we need these services. We need services in all of these communities. We need services to stop giving the money to people who don't really need it and to where we really need it to help our communities succeed and to stop all the violence. We won't. No, will we be able to stop the violence completely? No, but at least to put a curve on it and to treat us like we're human beings and our loved ones like human beings. That we're not just like we don't matter. We matter. Our loved ones matter. We matter. The families matter.
So today we're out here at Johnny Appleseed Park here in the city of Springfield. This is sort of like the lower Forest Park area. When your son and others are murdered, do you know how many murders has taken place in the lower Forest Park area?
I don't offhand. I know Forest Park, Orange, Kensington, all of that area. It's been quite a few, though.
Yeah, so I believe since 2017, there was like 100 unsolved homicides here in the city of Springfield. And half of those have taken place in the lower Forest Park area, Kensington Street, Orange Street. Where are the services in this area for parents and loved ones to go when they're grieving?
There is none in this area. This is why we are trying very hard to ask city officials to help us with getting a spot in this area so we can have services for families that are going through what I'm going through and what so many of us are going through. We shouldn't have to travel so far to get services, especially when you're a grieving parent or a grieving child and you already don't really feel like doing anything. It's very difficult to come up out of your community, let alone, you're not even coming out your home, so to come out your community. So I figure if we have these services for families in this neighborhood and also a safe space for our children to go. It's so expensive to go to after school programs, and everybody doesn't have that. The rent is so high, and so if we had these services to help these families out some when their loved one is taken, and someone who goes with them after the funeral, everybody goes home, but that family has to still, deal with the consequences of losing the trauma and the mental health and all that of losing their loved one, year after year after year.
Wow. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, today we're going to be having, tell them what the layout will be like for today.
Well, we will have some speakers, speakers for how important life insurance is with Regina Hudson. We would be having mental health with Natasha Mitchell, a few city officials, and hamburgers, hot dogs, and all that good stuff.
Wow. So we're going to,
and our remembrance ceremony for the families.
so the remembrance ceremony, what will you be doing for the families here today?
We will be giving out remembrance certificates for the families of their loved one, their child or their parent or whatever it was. We would be giving out certificates, remembrance certificates in honor of their names.
Well, we'd like to thank you for giving us a moment of your time. Know you have things to do. You have to meet people as they come in. So we want to thank Juanita Bachelor for giving us her time and energy. And we're going to be out here talking to the people today, having some fun, speaking the truth. If any political officials come out here, we're going to question them on what they're proposed to do. During this election season, everybody comes out and talks about what they're going to do if they are elected mayor, city council. What are some of as a voter and a mom, when you do not hear them talking about the unsolved homicides, what do you want to know from the political figures in this city?
I want to know what are they going to do to help solve these unsolved homicides? What are their plans and their goals to put a curve on the violence, and how we can work together to make Springfield safe again?
Well, I want to thank Ms. Juanita Bachelor for giving us a moment of her time. We're going to be out here, and we'll be more coming soon. Thank you, Juanita. Okay. Well, that's it for today. Welcome to Dare to Tell the Truth with your host, Minister Charles Stokes, with our guest, Ms. Juanita Bachelor, and we will be having more Dare to Tell the Truth. Peace.